Welcome to Greenshoe Radio, brought to you by Greenshoe Media Group. I'm your host, Mark Bunting. Our guest today is Jim Greig, President, Director, and Audit Committee member of Benchmark Metals, trading on the TSX Venture exchange under the ticker symbol BNCH. Jim, Benchmark Metals has the Lawyers Gold and Silver Project in the Golden Horseshoe in BC. You own that 100% outright. Can you give us a little brief overview?
Yeah, absolutely. So Benchmark took this project over about 2 years ago from some very clever, smart vendors who owned it privately. We negotiated 100% ownership of the project. Through the course of 2 years, we've had a few eye-awakening moments where we realized this was not a small, high-grade gold-silver producer. Now we fully realize this has big bulk tonnage potential. And at the moment, we have 5 drill rigs turning at site. We've got in excess of 20,000 meters already drilled this year. And we're targeting a very large resource estimate for early next year, Q1 of 2021.
Jim, as far as the history of this project, the previous owner abandoned it or shut it down in 1992 because it was no longer economical with gold around $300 around that time.
Mm-hmm.
But you've said this project has been neglected for a long time. It's about 90% underexplored. So what do you think you're actually sitting on there?
Well, this is the first time in the project's history where one company has been able to come along and consolidate all of the ground, the entire package. And what we're seeing now is a very large scope and scale project. We are drilling 3 areas for resource development as we speak. But beyond that, we've also isolated some brand new discovery packages throughout the rest of the package. It's 140 square kilometers total. Now, the difference between the project or the mine this time is that back in 89 to 1992, they were mining these high-grade 1 to 7 meter slivers. The difference here is we see large bulk tonnage potential from surface, not an underground mine, but an open pitable type mine that can be developed quickly to production.
Now, Jim, the company recently has come out with some drill results, and then just today, as we speak, some metallurgy results as well. Your CEO, John Williamson, described the drill results as very encouraging, and the results today in the news release as exceptional. So give us some more flavor on that.
Sure. Well, often metallurgy can be one of those hiccups that prevents a project from going forward. And essentially, what it's telling you is the amount of metals you can recover from the surrounding rock. And the ratio or the percentages that we've recovered or produced from these early stage numbers or early stage results are very, very good. We're looking into 95-ish% for gold and upwards of 90% for silver. So those are numbers that are above the sort of standard benchmark, if you will. This allows the project to move forward in a much faster fashion because we've already completed this unknown. We will continue to work on the metallurgy and refine it, but this is no longer an obstacle for the project to go forward. The metallurgy looks non-complex, quite simple, and have proven conventional techniques. So this allows us to, it's a major milestone, if you will. We can now move forward here and truly plan towards engineering and new economics.
What sort of milestones can investors expect with Benchmark Metals in the next several months in terms of resource estimate and a preliminary economic assessment, which I understand you're hoping to have sometime first half of 2021?
Yeah, that's right, Mark. So there's 3 big milestone moments coming here. We are looking to complete up to 50,000 meters of drilling with ongoing results right now through to probably October, November period. With some luck, we'll exceed that 50,000 meters. This would be followed by a new mineral resource estimate in about 6 or 7 months' time. They would come out in Q1 of 2021 next year. But on the back of the new mineral resource estimate, we are already planning for a new scoping study, a preliminary economic assessment. Work is ongoing already at site to support that new engineering endeavor.
As far as share structure, Jim, as you know, pretty well every junior exploration precious metals company would love to have Eric Sprott involved, and you certainly do. And last time I saw Mr. Sprott holds just under 20%. So what's the importance of that? I know that some cynics would say, well, Sprott puts his money into a lot of different companies and hopes that some of them hit. But what's the importance for you that Sprott has given you that backing?
Well, Sprott's one of the first large corporate investors that recognized that this project had real merit. He got involved with us approximately 9 months ago. Eric, yes, does invest in a lot of companies, but he also invests in companies that show signs of real success to generate wealth. And the one noteworthy event that came with Eric is he truly recognized the fact that this project has significant silver. It's not just a gold project. So silver prices are traditionally below its standard ratio at the moment. So by value, this is a gold project, no question, but by quantity, it's a silver project. And as the silver price increases, you know, there's a chance here where it becomes 50% gold, 50% silver. And this, of course, adds to the revenue once it gets into production.
And insiders at Benchmark Metals own about 40% of the company, so you've got skin in the game there. Now, you've talked about what the milestones are and the plans for drilling and so on. Are you fully funded through this next while?
We are fully funded. This is an $8.5 million budget we have with work in progress. So our treasury is quite healthy. However, with 5 drill rigs turning, we're eating through money quickly, but it is furnishing some good results.
Jim, you touched on silver prices there and alluded to gold prices as well and the ratio. These kinds of times, as you know, for gold and silver prices don't come along every day. The last big run was in 2011, arguably, and then a long period of consolidation, and then a decent run for gold over the last couple of years. But now silver's broken out the last while above 20. And I'm just wondering what your view is of gold and silver prices and the sustainability of this and whether we see further runs to the upside.
Yeah, I think truly this is a good time for investors to get involved in precious metals. As you said, this was a 9-year period to the downside. And now with elevated gold prices and silver, gold's hit an all-time record of just above $2,000 an ounce. It's still early stages. I suspect this precious metal sector will run for several years. So that being said, it's always a good time to get in early before mainstream investors jump on board, because prices are still quite attractive, not only for the junior sector and companies like Benchmark, but also the producers. And producers are showing very, very good margins on their product with elevated gold and silver prices. And what I would expect to see go here is that the producers will continue to show exceptional earnings on a quarter-by-quarter basis. And at some point, they are going to need to replenish their resources and develop new mines. And that's the opportunity to be investing in companies like Benchmark. Large producers need to replace ounces, and there's no better company than something like Benchmark here with high-grade gold and silver.
As far as your stock price, it bottomed around 19 cents or so in March. After the market crash, and most stocks bottomed around there, as it turns out. But would you say that investors are starting to discover the company? Because as we sit here today, the stock's up 20% on your news release today, sitting around $1.48 a share. So there is some recognition now. It looks like investors are paying attention. But do you still think you're undervalued to peers? And what's the potential here in terms of the share price? The sky's the limit?
Yeah, I think we're quite undervalued given we're already notifying the market that there's a large mineral resource to come in about 6 to, perhaps 7 months time. And so, the movement in the stock price is all about drill results and 5 drill rigs turning. And we will continue to divulge more results as they become available from the lab. But given we're approximately just below a $200 million market cap, I think there's peers who have similar scope and scale with multiples to our market cap. So that's the opportunity over the coming 6 to 12 months. There is growth here, but the growth is based on providing results and big milestone events. And we're going to hit that at Benchmark.
Thanks for your time today, Jim, and good luck with everything.
Thank you, Mark. Always a pleasure.
You've been listening to Greenshoe Radio. Our guest has been Jim Greig, President, Director, and Audit Committee member of Benchmark Metals, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange under the ticker symbol BNCH. Thanks for listening. I'm Mark Bunting, and we'll talk to you next time.